Hello people of YouTube, and welcome to another product spotlight. I'm John, and I have another box from ExactRail that we're going to take a look at today. So let's get over to the workbench. Alright, so here's what we're looking at today. These are HO scale FMC 5327 12-foot plug door boxcars. These are from ExactRail. They're in ExactRail's Evolution series and go for $42.99. The minimum radius for these cars is 22 inches. Looking at ExactRail's website, I see 5 different paint schemes that they're offered in. Your best bet would be to go to ExactRail's website and see if they have the one you're looking for. This first one we're going to take a look at is referred to as the Chattahoochee 1979 as delivered paint scheme. And I've taken a very close look at all of the paint and markings on this car, and it's all superbly done. One of the cool things you can see right off the bat is how the lettering wraps around the ribs on the car, and there are no visible gaps in any of the writing. Something else I've noticed as I was looking at this with my magnifying visor is the fact that the door tracks are separately applied parts down here, and the door also looks to be a separately applied part that was applied from the inside. I've seen that technique used on N-scale models, and what happens is it makes sort of a vacant look around the edges. Now, I don't know for sure that that's how they built this car, but I do know that that's what it looks like. It could just be a really good mold, because to be honest, when you look at it with the magnifying visor, it's hard to see an actual gap there. So anyway, the end result is the door detail and the edges around the door makes it look like it's actually an operating door, which is really cool. Something else to point out are that there are wire grabs that are applied separately here, as well as the stirrup, and it's on both ends. So looks really good. Looking at the brake end, you can see that the brake wheel and associated detail around here is all separately applied, including this grab that goes across. And then the brake platform looks to be a photo etched piece. Something else that's really cool about ExactRail is they include Kadee 58 couplers. This is one of the things I often get comments on other brands, which is, why don't they use Kadee couplers? Well, ExactRail does, so you don't have to worry about that. A brief look at the A end reveals similar detail, almost identical, except there's no brake wheel. And then a look at the top reveals the same kind of pattern that you'd expect to see, and this is raised. So this will take weathering really nicely. And looking at the bottom, you can see that the door tracks are in fact separately applied parts, both on this side and on this side. Also, look at all the brake detail. That looks really good under there. And I've commented before about the detail in the floors of these things. That's pretty cool. And also from this angle, you can see that these are CNC machined wheels, and they're already blackened, which is pretty cool. It makes the weathering job a little bit less tedious. And then you can see that this is a body mount Kadee 58 coupler. Moving on to the next one, you can see it's similar detail with all the separately applied brake detail, metal wheels, and then again, body mounted Kadee 58 couplers. Looking at the roof of the orange car, which, by the way, I should mention, the orange car is the Green Bay Western, East Camden, and Highland paint scheme. And anyway, looking at the roof, it's the same thing. Same kind of detail you can see there. And they all have the same roof detail. I'm just being thorough and showing you all of them so that you can get an idea of what they look like. And here's the A end of the East Camden and Highland model. You can see it has the separately applied ladders, separately applied grab that goes all the way across. That is a wire grab, by the way. And then the crossover platform is also similar to the other one. And again, Kadee number 58 coupler. Let's take a look at the B end real quick. Well, there you have it. And I should mention, if you look really carefully, you can see some really small writing up in here. You can read all that stuff. I've often commented about how amazed I am at the tiny print that these companies are able to pull off these days. It looks really cool. And I'd be remiss if I didn't show you the side view of this car. It's a cool paint scheme. I don't know that I've ever seen one of these in person before, but the sort of arrows on each side looks pretty cool to me. And again, looking at the printing, even the tiniest printing, it's all legible. It's a really good looking model straight out of the box. And finally, we're going to take a look at the Chattahoochee 1999 repaint. Something else I want to tell you. I did mention that these come in something like 5 different paint schemes. Each of those paint schemes has different road numbers too. So, like I said before, it's best to look at the website and see if they have the one you're looking for. But anyway, let's take a closer look at this. And this model also has that same sort of treatment around the door. And you know what, looking at this one, it seems to me like on this one it doesn't look like a separately applied door that was added from the inside. But anyway, it looks good, and you can see how it looks just from the video here. This is a brief look at the brake end. And again, you can see all the same kind of detail that the other two had, including the separately applied ladders, grab, and crossover platform. Here's a quick look at the A end, just to show you the same level of detail that we found on the B end and on the other two cars. And here's a look at the roof detail. You can see it has that same pattern as the other ones, but apparently on the repaints, they painted the roof as well. And here's a quick look at the bottom with all the separately applied brake rigging. And since I have the model sitting here, I figured I'd show you those ASF ride control 100-ton trucks, looking nice and detailed. So because these models are in ExactRail's Evolution series, they don't have quite as much detail as you would expect from ExactRail. However, that being said, all of the molding and the detail that is there is excellent. And the other thing that I like about sort of less detailed models like this is that it gives modelers the opportunity, if they want, to super detail it themselves. So I could see adding cut levers and hoses to this, as well as a good weathering job, and all of these cars will look excellent on any layout. So good job, ExactRail. I'll see you all next time.